Three individuals, lawyer Willie Kimani, his client Josephat Mwenda and their taxi driver Joseph Mwiruri went missing after attending a court session at the Mavoko law courts. What would follow was a trail of deceit, mystery and murder in the most brutal way that saw lawyers in the country down their tools demanding justice for the three. 1 year later and the case remains open. KTN's Timothy Otieno was with the family as they commemorated the 1 year anniversary of those who were later termed as the Mavoko Three.
The Consolata Shrine played host to a congregation of three families brought together 12 months ago by a calamity that would make national headlines for weeks on end. Last year, the same venue would honor three men who had died the most brutal death. Lawyer Willie Kimani, his client Josephat Mwenda, and taxi driver Joseph Mwiruri went missing on the 23rd of June 2016. Thomas Ouya, an advocate of the High Court and close friend to lawyer Willie Kimani, remembers that day vividly.
So we were thrown into a spin. We got confused. We failed to understand what's happening. So all along, we held our breath with an imagination and anticipation that he was going to come alive.
But that anticipation would dwindle after bodies of the three were retrieved from the Oldonyo Sabuk River near Kilimambogo, Machakos County.
The images, the person that we were seeing was not the person that we knew. It clearly indicated that our brother had undergone one of the most tragic deaths. He had been properly tortured.
And what followed next was a series of events that sparked public outrage over the manner in which the three who were seeking justice against a police officer ended up being murdered at a field in Syokimau. Lawyers left the courtrooms and took to the streets demanding for justice for the three. Boda operators in Mavoko did the same. The cell that allegedly held the three before they were killed was set ablaze by angry residents, and even the director of criminal investigations, Ndegwa Muhoro, in a president's setting move, appeared in the docks to answer questions over the murders of the three.
We have invited our international partners, specifically the FBI, the evidence response team.
My lordship, having worked in the area of torture, sometimes we do say that some deaths can be extremely painful, especially it appears for some reason the torturers or whoever was inflicting these injuries seem to have had an affinity on the testicles.
I entered the city mortuary. I saw his decomposing body. I saw his body in a totally, depleted state. And I was like, what really happened to my friend? What really happened to this great lawyer of this country?
In peace, you came, Joseph. And in peace, you finally striped away.
Today, Grace Mwiruri, Joseph Mwiruri's sister, still bears the scars of that ordeal. Her brother, the taxi driver, killed for simply picking up a client as part of his daily routine.
Hiyo ilikuwa a very deep cut, especially in my heart. Na sasa vile hiyo mambo imekuwa, hiyo uchungu nasikianga, siwezi taka ikawaifikia mtu mwingine.
5 police officers attached to the Syokimau Administration Police Camp remain in custody over the killings, with the families hopeful that justice will be served.
Our son Castrol is now 5 years old. He has a good memory of you. I always tell him you went to heaven. He thinks when people go to heaven, do come back. I tell him when people go to heaven, they become angels who watch over us.
Mimi sina mengi ya kusema sababu sioni kwa sababu unajua tulikuwa wawili sasa kuachwa mimi mmoja nasikia huzuni sana.
Willie and Joseph were murdered for just doing their jobs. Josephat was murdered for daring to stand up for his rights. They were murdered by police officers. The worst crime that a man can commit, to take the life of another, committed by those who are sworn to protect and serve the people of Kenya. What an insult.
The three, described by members of the legal fraternity as martyrs of justice, left behind a legacy exposing what many call the return of extrajudicial killings in the country. And even though the case surrounding the deaths is yet to be resolved, the families hope that the wheels of justice will turn a little bit faster, at least in this matter. Timothy Otieno, KTN News.